Friend! Oh, new friend! Oh, friend! Please be my friend! Oh, friend!
Hello and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. You are the Cheap Shot Nation, and as ever, I am your host, Luke, and we're going to take you through everything Nxt Uk this week. It aired on the 30th of January 2019, and it was filmed in Blackpool just after takeover. It's episode number 28. Can't believe we're on episode number 28 of NXT UK already. But again, another really good show. There hasn't been a disappointing show since it started. So yeah, I'm enjoying doing these reviews. It does give you weekly content as well that's guaranteed to happen on the channel, because you can't always depend on independent wrestling to put out loads of shows, and I can't always get to those shows to do the reviews for you guys, the Cheap Shot Nation, although I do love doing this kind of stuff. Anyway, so yeah, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and we'll take you through everything that happened on NXT UK episode number 28 on the 30th of January. So, first match, get straight into this. There was a recap on TakeOver where Pete Dunne celebrating his victory. Walter came down. If you've seen the show, you'll know what happens next. And the debut of Walter, or as Matt Riddle said, debut. So I'm going to use that because it's funny. Of Walter is happening on this show. So first match is Dave Mastiff, the Bomber from the West Midlands, versus Primate. I've seen Primate in person. I've also seen Dave Mastiff in Primate, and they're both very intimidating men. I wouldn't like to get in a bar fight with them, that's for damn sure. But yeah, both guys, really big guys. You wouldn't think this would work, but it does, and it's been proven to work over the last couple of weeks, certainly with Mastiff's rivalry with Eddie Dennis. We saw Eddie Dennis last week. So the match starts. Primate gets the jump on Dave Mastiff, tries to take him down. There's some bouncing off the ropes, trying to take Mastiff down from Primate, but Mastiff then counters with the high cross body, 21 stone falling on top of you. That's gotta hurt. Anyway, it goes back to the ground and pound style of Dave Mastiff. Don't often see that from Dave Mastiff. Lots of high power moves. We don't really ever see ground and pound, but Primate is quite impressive in this match, taking down Mastiff a couple of times with hard, heavy strikes. Primate does come back with some simian type offense, very unorthodox. Gets a key lock on Dave Mastiff, tries to take out the power game of the big man. Primate in complete control at this point, and goes back to the arm bar on Dave Mastiff after Dave Mastiff almost gets out. So he powers out. Primate collapses after he goes for the pickup on Dave Mastiff, the fireman's carry. There's a near fall. And Mastiff comes back into it, hits a senton, cannonball senton in the corner. No one's coming back from that. Get the spatula. Primate is done, and your winner is Dave Mastiff. Again, undefeated Dave Mastiff. When is he going to get his championship shot, having been on the NXT UK card since the beginning? Walter comes in, pretty much gets a shot straight away. I'm guessing that he will have to earn that shot, but I'd quite like to see something like a fatal four-way for the championship, see how well Pete Dunne does in that. But yeah, your winner, and gaining more momentum. Can't think of anybody else with more momentum than Dave Mastiff apart from the champion at this point. Your winner is Dave Mastiff. So we then get the grizzled young veterans, the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions, consisting of Liverpool's number one, Zach Gibson and James Drake. coming down to the ring, cutting a promo. James Drake doesn't really say much. I don't think he can get a word in edgewise with Zach Gibson. He is Liverpool's number one after all, and I'd really like one of your t-shirts, Zach. So if you're watching, please send it over to Cheap Shot Entertainment. Not that he will, but I'd love one of those t-shirts. Anyway, yeah, and he just keeps saying soon. So Sid Scala comes out and makes a match with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch at the Worlds Collide tournament. It was announced that the NXT UK roster would be on that card in Phoenix. Basically, it's NXT versus NXT UK versus 205 Live in a tournament style setting with different matches going off all over the card with tag team matches and stuff like that, but it's a single elimination tournament as the main thing, and see who's the supreme brand on the sort of secondary level of WWE. So they're going against Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Had a couple of really good matches for the NXT championships. Yeah, Danny Burch has also had a match for the UK Championship when the NXT UK brand was very young in its creation. But yeah, that is going to be really good, and that is airing live on Saturday. That's this Saturday. It is the 2nd of February, and we will be reporting back on that. Hopefully I might even get Woody involved in this one if he's watching. Fancy it? And your next match is the one that most people have been waiting for. It is the debut of Walter. Da 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 da. This guy is so imposing. He's 7 foot tall. He's huge Austrian guy. Comes down to Mozart. You know you're going to get your ass kicked when a wrestler has an entrance theme like Mozart. Anyway, he is going against the young upstart known as Jack Stars. I've seen him a couple of times. I don't think he's been doing very well on NXT UK. Go as far as to say he's filler talent, which is a shame because they don't have a secondary title in NXT UK. Then again, it took a long time for NXT to get a secondary title, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. They've got their base, they've got their tag team, they've got their women's, and they've got their main title, and this match was more about the debut of Walter. Stars does try to get an early start with some heavy strikes on Walter. They does not affect the big guy. In fact, in his first strike on Walter does send him backwards because he hits him that hard and it just does not do anything. You might as well just go and punch a wall. Before Walter just turns round and it's like a 180 chop. Now this guy's probably got a lot of power behind that chop anyway, but when you spin 180 and hit that chop, wow. Tell you what, I'd like to see Walter chop Troy Goose, Big Papa Goose, seen in Hope Wrestling and in House of Pain as well, because he squeals and it's dead funny. Anyway, yeah, there's slow methodical pace on this one, as you can expect, with Walter being completely on top on this one. So that chop does send Stars to the outside. Walter then catches him and dumps him unceremoniously onto the ring apron. It is the hardest part of the ring. Well noted that it's the hardest part of the ring. Stars attempts a little bit of a comeback before Walter just pings him off again. Hits a drop kick, a heavy knee, a drop kick, and a power bomb for the win. No chance here for Stars. We've seen what Walter can do, but against more heavy opposition, will he get more of a test, shall we say? Very impressive debut from Walter in this match. And Yeah, like I say, Jack Stars didn't stand a chance. Anyway, we, as Walter's celebrating in the ring, we have another exclusive. Walter goes back into the backstage area. Joe Coffey is waiting for him. Once Walter wants to prove that he can be in contention for that UK Championship again, Walter just stares at him, doesn't say much at all. It's all Joe Coffey at this point. We then see Eichner and Bartel. Now, as I understand it, Bartel was in a faction with Walter in different parts of the world, so they've got a bit of a history. So they offer to help Walter if he needs any help. He just looks at them and walks away, very reminiscent of an old WWE game. In fact, it's reminiscent of Here Comes the Pain. It's really funny. Choose what Walter will say. Anyway, so after that confrontation, like I say, we get Eichner and Bartel. We'd see them later on in the card in a tag team match as well. The next match on the card for the evening on NXT UK number 28 was a women's match, and it was scheduled for one fall, and it's Ginny, who I'm not too fussed about, to be honest. It's not very often I say that about a wrestler. I just don't, you know, every so often it happens. I just don't like her character. I just, you know, it's just one of those things. However, I can appreciate the fact that she's obviously works hard and they think highly of her, which is nice. And she's going against Casey Owens, who we've not seen in NXT UK, making her debut, and she is from Northern Ireland. There's lots of headlocks and arm bars in this one, trying to get the upper hand on the other lady, both Owens and Ginny. There's a reverse figure four by Ginny. Owens managed to get to the ropes and break that knee lock, like I say, reverse figure four. Comes back impressively with a Hurricane Runner, and that is by Ginny. Come back by Owens. Telegraphs the high flying move, as it were. There's a flatliner into the turnbuckle and an abdominal stretch. Now, usually after the flatliner into the turnbuckle, Ginny goes for the pin. She didn't in this one. She chose to punish Owens a little bit more with the abdominal stretch. There's some scratching and clawing into the ribs as well, really putting that heel persona over. And like I say, I appreciate the fact that she does all this. I just don't particularly like her. And there's a surfboard stretch and into an arm bar on the ropes by Owens. Tries to come back. It was at this point that Ginny just got really mad, dumped Owens on her head with a DDT from the corner, and she calls that the makeover. Of course, she's the fashionista. And it's like an X Factor thing in the corner, and gets the win. Ginny continues her momentum moving forward in the women's division. Yeah, really impressed again by Casey Owens. Impressed by Ginny. Like I say, I just don't like her. I think I've repeated that several times, but everyone's not for everybody. It does happen. I'm sure there's wrestlers that I like that you don't. But yeah, if you can point me in the direction of some matches that might change my mind, then please leave them in the comments section down below, and I will make sure I watch those. Moving on, and then we get another announcement of a match happening at Worlds Collide after Rhea Ripley demands a rematch of Johnny Saint and Sid Scala against the current United Kingdom Women's Champion Toni Storm. We get a match announcement after they mull it over. We usually get these announcements on Twitter, so that's fine. At Worlds Collide, it will be Rhea Ripley trying to regain her NXT UK Women's Championship against Toni Storm in a match, like I say, at Worlds Collide, taking place on Saturday. This Saturday, 2nd of February, rather. It's not January anymore. Soon be Panto time. Oh no, it won't. Oh yes, it will. Yeah, so that's a nice little announcement. But we'll move straight on into the main event. It is Moustache Mountain, coming off the back of a disappointing loss to grizzled young veterans to become the first ever NXT UK tag team champions. Obviously that is never going to happen now, but they can still become tag team champions, and they've got to gain that momentum once again. They are going against Eichner and Bartel, who have been nothing short of impressive since their debuts, or debuts, of course, because I said I was going to use that word because it's funny. Anyway, there's an early back and forth in this match from Bartel and Tyler Bate. Seven gets the tag, Eichner gets the tag, and there's a senton from Tyler Bate, having jumped off the top rope and caught his feet on Seven's shoulders to hit the senton. There's a chop by Eichner that sends Bate silly. There's an opportunity to beat down Bate at this point, and they take that opportunity well. Eichner and Bartel very much on top, beating down Bate at this point, and there's then a hot tag to Trent Seven. Oh, Trent Seven Army. A Snapdragon suplex into the pump handle, sort of slam type thing. Bate goes for the spring back clothesline, which is countered by Bartel on the outside as he kicks Bate up the side of the face, and does that for a second time. Almost gets the win for his team, does Eichner, from that distraction, but Tyler Bate manages to kick out. Tyler Bate does eventually fly out of the ring, takes out Bartel, I think, on the outside, I think it was, and Seven connects with the 7-star lariat for the near fall on Eichner. Yeah, it's not very often that people get out of the 7-star lariat, but Eichner did. There's a double team, which was a spine buster into a kick from Eichner and Bartel. From the heels, I've put down here. There's another near fall. We thought that was going to be it. The Trent Seven then hits a stunner move. Bate thrown into Eichner for a brainbuster as Tyler Bate is going up the top. Bartel gets him, chucks him off, Ric Flair style. Eichner catches him quite impressively and hits Tyler Bate with the brainbuster, sort of deadlift brainbuster. The pin is Trent Seven at this point. There's a double rolling kick from Tyler Bate and a full Nelson spring back lariat by Moustache Mountain for the win. And your winners in this match are Moustache Mountain, gaining a modicum of momentum back from their title loss. And so that was everything that happened in NXT UK episode number 28. Happened on the 30th of, it was released on the 30th on the network on the 30th of January 2019. It actually was filmed after NXT TakeOver on the 13th, I believe that was. So yeah, we're still in Blackpool at this point. It's episode number 28, so they think we might get another episode from Blackpool at this point. So yeah, cool. It was a really good episode. There was lots. Surprised by how many matches there were actually. So we've had almost the full fallout of NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool. The only people we haven't seen come face to face again are Eddie Dennis and Dave Mastiff. I believe that may just happen sooner rather than later. Eddie Dennis is quite bitter about his loss to Dave Mastiff at NXT UK TakeOver. Anyway, that is your lot for today. That is everything that happened in NXT UK Takeover episode number 28. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Hit a flying clothesline on that subscribe button, drop kick that notification bell to know when we upload new videos, and content will come regular as we can possibly make it. In the meantime, we hope you've enjoyed the show, if I can get my words out properly. Words, there they are. And join us next time for more what happened in this episode, that episode. We're going to try and look at some old school pay-per-views as well. WrestleMania season coming up. I've got some February pay-per-views that we could look at, so let us know if you would like us to do that in the comments section down below on Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff as well. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for all of your support. Can't say thank you enough for that. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.